Good morning. Starting up Higurashi where we left off. In the mid. Oh, wait, wrong one. With the auction, which is talking about. I think it was Arc 2 as well, but the game was definitely in Arc 2 and 5. The items donated for the auction were gathered at the Furude Shrine. There's so much stuff here. I expected to see towels and old furniture, but there are way more things than that. I even see TVs and refrigerators. These are pretty new, too. Impressed, huh? We got donations from the stores my family owns. Some of them were display products, or leftovers that they can't sell, but they're still practically brand new. If you don't mind something a model behind, they're incredible, right? Yeah, that's the way to go. Seeing how sun-bleached the brand new sticker on these appliances are makes me feel kind of sorry for them. No, Satoko, that's actually a big selling point. Even if it's a little faded, people feel better using brand new tools than they do items someone else used. Definitely true. Me, youngsters these days sure are picky. I don't really care whether it's new or not. All I care about is the price. Renaissance, you seem interested in furniture. Are you thinking about living on your own, or something? Oh no, my dad and I were just talking about redecorating the house. Brand new furniture is expensive, so I've been checking out these recycled ones. You're changing the furniture? That's quite a big deal. Yep. My dad finally found a job recently. Oh. So we kind of want to make a fresh start out of it. So that means Rina's out of the picture for this arc as well. Your father found a new job? Oh, Riki-chan asked her. I was thinking the same thing. Did that mean Rena's father was unemployed until recently? Yeah. He didn't work for a whole year after he broke up with my mom. I was so upset. I was always telling him to go get a job already. Rena explained that with her usual smile, so it took me a moment to realize how serious it was. If what she said was true, her parents were divorced, and she wasn't living in a very good family environment. Rena talked about it like it was nothing. Your mother and father broke up? Yep. They got divorced in Ibaraki. That's why my dad and I came back to Hinamizawa. My dad couldn't get over the divorce for a long time, though. He was always just sleeping or daydreaming. Divorces and breakups always wound deeper the more they loved their partner. It's not really a bad thing that your father was hurt so much. That's a romantic way to put it. Anyway, I eventually found out that he was spending a lot of money at the bar. I was shocked when I looked at our bank account. Ren's mom is a famous designer. Their family used to make lots of money. So her father got lots of settlement money upon the divorce. That's why he was able to pay for their living expenses for a while. Perhaps that was why it took him so long to get back on track. That's true. If he had no money, he would have had no choice but to work. He would have had no time to be depressed if he kept himself busy. It's tough leaving an ordinary pattern of life. It can really mess up people's cycles. I understand because I was that way for a while after I left the academy. Staying at home like a hermit is the worst thing you can do. You're exactly right, Rika-chan. That's why I had a talk with him. We talked about his responsibility as the head of the household, and as a parent. You always look like you're fooling around, but you're actually the most reliable person in this group. I'm impressed that you even spoke to your father like that. It wasn't a big deal. I was shocked at first. I found out that my dad was spending his money on some lady. Oh, it is that. As his daughter, it really hurt to find that out. And then? What did you do? Well, it was no good to think about it on my own. I just kept thinking in a negative way. So I spoke to Michan about it. All I did was listen to her. Rena was the one who faced her problems and came to the conclusion of talking with her dad about them. I didn't give her any advice. But that was the important thing. Talking to people about your problems can calm you down a lot. Is that so? If she overcame it just by talking to Sis, maybe her problem wasn't that serious. That's not true, Shi-chan. Before I spoke to Mi-chan, all I thought about was how to hurt that lady. But I realized that wasn't a good solution at all. Talking it out with him was the most important thing. So what happened after you spoke with him? Well, we concluded that he wasn't moving on because of the money. So he transferred the funds to a different account, and I took charge of them. Now my dad has to get an allowance from me every month. Oh, it's as though you're the parent now. Everyone else laughed along with Satsuko. I wasn't sure if I should laugh, but I saw Rena laughing too. Anyway, the money was keeping her father from moving on. As soon as he remembered the value of money, he stopped going to that shady bar and got a job. It really was perfect timing. He was getting ready to pay the down payment for this lady's apartment. That would have been a mess. You talk about it like it's nothing, but it's a pretty serious story. Your family could have been ruined. That's true. If I didn't talk to Mi-chan, and kept on thinking about it on my own, I don't know where I would have been by now. I think I probably would have tried to kill that lady. Everyone laughed at hearing such a dangerous thing come out of Rena's mouth. Rena laughed too, but I saw something serious in her eyes. It was probably true that she once thought about murdering that lady. She seduced Rena's father so that she could get money out of him. Knowing how short-tempered I am, I might do the same if that happened to me. I think she made the right decision in talking to Mion instead of being irrational. I'm impressed. It's not that easy to talk about your family issues. I know. It took me a while to make the decision to talk to Mi-chan, but that one dream changed everything. Dream. Ah. A dream? Yep. Every night in bed I'd think about my problems, so I was troubled even in my dreams. In my dream, I thought about what would happen to me if I didn't do anything. I don't know if what I saw was in my imagination or a prediction of the future. In my dream, I saw that lady living with us in our home. My dad and I don't smoke, but there was an ashtray in the living room. The futon in our guest room was now hers. In the bathroom, there was a toothbrush and shampoo I'd never choose to buy. It was an unusual sight. That must have been a very difficult, disgusting situation. Satsuko never told me, but I'd heard that she also lost her parents. I had heard that she went through tough times when she was taken in by her aunt and uncle. Someone told me about that once. Satsuko seemed to understand Rena's pain very well. Yes, it was a really disheartening situation. Eventually, I felt like I didn't belong there anymore. Then, something urged me to kill her. That sounds so realistic for a dream. What happened after that? I realized I was a murderer. I didn't want anybody to find out about it, and I stopped trusting anyone. I spent all day at the place I buried her. I was afraid that if I left that place, someone would find out that I killed her. That's a nightmare. I'm glad it was just a dream for you. I don't know. I wonder if that was just a dream. I think I saw my future. That would have happened if I didn't do anything about the situation. I woke up the next morning shaking in fear. I even felt like I smelled her perfume at home. I wondered when that dream was going to come true. I was so afraid, and that pushed me to talk to Mi-chan. I remember Rena coming up to me and telling me that she had a secret to tell me. I honestly thought she'd gotten a positive on a pregnancy test for a moment. I can talk about it like this now, but it was very serious then. Mi-chan is a really dependable person. She listened to me and guided me through a solution. Eventually, we decided that I needed to talk with him face to face. Perhaps it wasn't just a dream. You're right. I think it was more than that. Without that dream, it's possible that you never would have spoken to Mion. That could have changed your life dramatically. A dream, huh? Huh? You've had dreams too, Shion? Shion had said something in a small voice. Only Mion picked up on what it was. I don't know what she said, but based on Mion's reaction, she must have said something serious. By the way, Shion usually went to school in Okunomiya. However, she'd been coming to the school in Hinamizawa lately. I didn't know why she chose to come this far, but she seemed to be having fun taking care of Satoko. I had no idea what brought Shion and Satoko together. Wait, weren't they on bad terms once? Huh? Is that true? Were they always that close, or not? Hmm? Now I know. It's important to talk to other people. We'll have fun in a normal way, we'll laugh together in a normal way, and we'll fall in love in a normal way. We won't doubt each other. We'll trust each other. That's him remembering that. Friends have greater meaning than I thought. You can talk to them about anything. I finally came to realize that. You're right. You resolve not only your family issues, but you also realize the importance of friendship. Yeah. If anyone is troubled by something, I want to help. I really do. I want everyone to think that they can talk to me about their problems. Me? Ren is saying something very important right now. Riku-chan is right. We all nodded at her, without joking around. A moment later, we heard someone locking the door. We were all surprised. That person didn't mean to lock the door. She must have locked it by accident, not knowing that it was already open. She turned the knob, thinking that it was now unlocked. Huh? Is anybody inside? The lady knocked on the door. I could hear several people outside the door. Oh, sorry. Let me open it. Mion replied in a loud voice and walked toward the door. I heard her greeting the ladies from the town council. Hey, will you guys lend a hand? What is it? I immediately say why Mion called us over. Saw. The people from the village committee had brought another donation. It was an old cupboard. We all helped carry it inside the room. Do people actually pronounce cupboard fully, or is it normally covered? That's a weird one. As I walked through the door, I realized that Higurashi was starting to cry, taking over from the cicadas. I heard you're going to host the auction, Maibara-kun? Everyone thinks you're the best man for that job. We're all looking forward to seeing your showmanship. Oh, I'll do my best, but please don't expect too much from me. Sure you say. You're here today so you can come up with an idea of how to sell these items. They have every reason to expect great things from you. I'll make sure I'm at my best then. The other ladies smiled and told me they were looking forward to it. It hadn't been that long since I moved to this village, but even these people offered me a position of huge responsibility during the festival. So you could say that they've accepted me as a member of this village. I've caused so much trouble where I lived before that I couldn't even go outside. But they're accepting me as a member of the village? I was so happy. I felt bad that I still hadn't learned all of their names. But I was going to do my best to entertain the villagers who are supporting me. What are you going to do now, Mion-chan? Are you staying here? No, we're going home now. Right, Kei-chan? Yep. I got a good idea of what we have here. I should be fine now. I'm not interested in Watanagashi, but I do still want to see his auction. Maybe I'll come to the festival too. You absolutely must be there, Shion-san. It'll be great fun if we all hang out together. I disagree. She lives in Okunomiya, so she should go to the festival there. I think Shishan should come. I think Michan will prove entertaining if she does. Since most of us want her to be here, it's decided that she is going to come. You hear that, sis? You'll be in my shadow on the day of the festival. Let's at least be nice to each other. Ugh. I hate you, Shion. I hate you, Shion. I hate you, Shion. Whatever Mion says, I know that they're actually close. The more Mion tried to refuse her, the more it was obvious how close they really were. Right, let's go. Make sure you get everything. I'm turning off the light now. We made sure that we didn't leave anything inside and left the room. I looked around the shrine grounds while Mion locked the door. This big place will be filled with people on the day of Watanagashi. These grounds are going to be the site of the festival. Man, I can't even imagine the crowd. I'm really looking forward to it. There's going to be a lot of stalls, and it'll be packed with people. You'll be surprised, I think. I wish they'd quit being stingy and hold something every season instead of once a year. That reminds me, there is someone who visits every season. Huh? Who are you talking about? Oh, I know who you mean. It's that photographer I met the other day, isn't it? What was his name? You know Tomitake, Keiichi? That's right, it was Tomitake-san. I met him on my way back home. Ren and Mion told me about him. Despite his burly frame, he's a fairly modest guy. Where'd the cat go? Oh, it's under the bed hiding now. He comes here every year to take pictures, right? That is what he claims, at least. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Whenever I see him, I feel like Watanagashi is close by. After Watanagashi, it's the beginning of summer. That's true. But the cicadas are already crying because it's gotten hot early this year. I heard on TV this year that this year is unusual. It's something to do with a thing called global warming. I love a hot summer. It's not a proper summer if it's cool. No. Yeah, I agree. I like the different climates of the seasons. Cool summers and warm winters disappoint me. We've got to be as passionate as the hot summer, too. How many of us are going to be there at the festival? It's going to be a battle of the 6 evils. 6 evils! Once again, we'll have a great Watanagashi this year. I agree. I hope we'll have lots of fun. Hey Rena, don't you know? When Rika-chan says something like that, it's not just what she hopes for. It's a prediction. If Rika-chan is telling us that it's going to be great, it really is going to be great. That's our fate. Right, Rika-chan? Yes, that's our fate. Rika-chan smiled with a nipa. Her smile assured me that the day of Watanagashi was going to be a great one for us. The auction won't be starting right away, will it? Nah. It's going to be right before the ritual dance, so we'll have plenty of time to hang out together. Indeed. It's your first festival. You deserve to have fun. After Kei-chan's auction, we get to see Rika-chan's ritual dance? Sounds good to me. That means I don't get to see Keiichi the whole time. I have to stand by for the dance. You're going to be in the show too, Rika-chan? What is that dance all about? Are you going to do something traditional because you're the Shrine Maiden? There's a dance and a ceremony for paying respect to the cotton inside the futon. You should root for Rika-chan too, Keiichi-kun. You see? When Rika-chan dances in her Shrine Maiden outfit, it's just so cute! I'm taking her home with me. I've never seen a real Shrine Maiden before. I'm sure Rika-chan really will look adorable. I was looking more and more forward to the Watanagashi festival. Rena, Mion, Shion, Satoko, Rika-chan, and I. The 6 of us will definitely have a great time there. How many more days did we have? I'd never been this excited about a festival in my life. Is this Rika's perspective now? At night? Satoko's snoring sounded so subtle while I stood by the window. Satoko? I could tell that she was sound asleep. She snores so cutely. Hanyu laughs and tries to poke Satsuko's nose. I looked up at the sky. Nothing was different about the moon, but the moonlight seemed warmer than usual to me. Rika, you seem to be in a good mood. Yes, I think I am. I realized it only after Hanyu pointed it out. I really was in a very good mood. Otherwise, I wouldn't be enjoying the view of the sky on a humid night like this. I felt like bringing a toast to the moon. As I rooted around the back of the closet, Hanyu spoke to me, sounding noticeably upset. Rika, don't you even think about drinking. I deserve it. Just tonight. Hanyu doesn't like alcohol. If I drink, Hanyu will also taste it, so she always complains when I try to drink. That's why I usually drink only when Hanyu is far away from me. Of course, she'll know right away when I do, but it's too late by then. No, you can't. You're too young to be drinking. It's my body. I'm going to make my own decisions. No, I hate alcohol. You can't drink. I don't want to fight with you tonight. I'll dilute it with orange juice so you can handle the taste. Is that a deal? That's not the point. I hate being drunk. So you can't drink. Hanyu jumped around and complained. She was making a lot of noise right where Satsuko was sleeping. Stop that. You're going to wake her up. No, I'm not. Remember, you're the only one who can hear me. Nah. Oh, just who do you think you are? I went to the refrigerator and took out a pack of orange juice and the spicy kimchi I typically use for her punishment. Oh. Let me ask you a question. Would you prefer if I ate this spicy kimchi to punish you? Or drink a sweet orange juice cocktail while enjoying this beautiful moon instead? Hanyu clenched her lips while jumping up and down, ready to burst into tears. She should be disciplined for being that noisy, but she never has been, since I'm the only one who can hear her. Besides, she's like air, so I can't even give her a spanking. Hanyu loves sweets, but she really hates spicy food. Rika! Would you stop jumping around? Satsuko woke up suddenly. I had to hide my glass in a hurry. Satsuko doesn't know about my drinking habit. What time do you think it is? She fell asleep again after speaking. See? She was bothered by you jumping around like that. You nighttime nuisance. Oh. Just like I'm the only one who can see her, I'm usually the only person who can hear the noise she makes. However, that's not the case all the time. Hanyu does exist in this world. Sometimes people can actually hear and feel her existence. It doesn't happen too often, and most people think that they just heard some random noise. Based on my experience, people who are in a critical condition like Satsuko tend to hear her more often. You know, something like Rena, or Shion in the torture tool holding house. When I say critical condition, I mean who have reached the L4 stage, as Irie would describe it. At that stage, there's nothing that can be done anymore. They will feel the existence and hear the noise of someone that they can't see. That would really mess with their mind. Hanyu stopped jumping up and down and gave up as I started pouring alcohol into my glass. And that explains the footsteps now. I wasn't drinking because I wanted to be mean to Hanyu. In fact, I always wished she would enjoy it too. I poured only a little bit of wine inside the glass and diluted it with plenty of orange juice. It's cat. In fact, this cocktail is pretty much just juice. Alright, he's up now. I also put some crushed ice inside the glass. With it looked like a real cocktail that they serve at the bar. See, Hanyu? It's very diluted. I licked the edge of the glass to see how she'd react. I guess it's not that bad. Good. I'll be drinking this tonight. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore, alright? Hanyu has been scared of that kimchi punishment for a while. As I put it back inside the refrigerator, she seemed relieved. I took the glass and headed back to the window. There was no breeze, but it seemed a little bit cooler. Hey, Hanyu. Do you feel that something is different this time? I'm going to turn on auto and give it a try. Are you talking about Keiichi and Rena? Shion, too. Alright, that's a bit too slow. Everyone remembers a little bit about their past. Let's see if that turned it off. Okay. Config. Turn it up about that much. Just so I can pet my cat while reading. They seem to be using those memories to avoid their fatal mistakes. Next, please. I don't think it would be that surprising if this was happening individually. It's still too slow for me. Put it up a bit above half then. But I find it very strange that that's happening to everyone all at once. I know I often use board games as examples of fate, but I feel like this is the same lucky chance as rolling all sixes on 3 dice. I think that's a good way to describe it in the sense that we're starting closest to your desired future. But I don't think this is the miracle that you've been waiting for. I knew what she was trying to say. She was telling me not to expect too much. The die is designed to have 6 sides. It's not a miracle if I roll it and get a 6. A true miracle is when I roll it once, but get a 10, just like what happened with Keiji in my previous life. In other words, a miracle is something that would normally never happen. Keiji gave the doll to Mion. Rena spoke with her father. And Shion started taking care of Satoko after remembering her promise to Satoshi. That was all because they had those intentions somewhere in their hearts. It was only a side of their die that was engraved there already. But still, even if you couldn't call 3 dice rolling this well a miracle, it did mean good fortune. I'm sure it was God's way of celebrating you finally feeling motivated to change your fate. I thought you were one of the gods. You only treat me like a god when you're trying to tease me. I was just kidding, don't get upset. Anyway, that's why I'm in such a good mood tonight. I lifted up the glass of orange wine and gave a toast to the moon. It tasted like nothing but sweet orange juice. It was funny to see Hanyu making a happy face as I took a sip. I'm wondering if I can escape the death of 1983 this time. If our goal is to escape from this board, then I don't think we'll ever have such a fortunate start again. No matter how hard I tried to prevent things from happening, there were some things I could never control. It's such a huge letdown when that happens. Even after trying so hard, something renders my efforts infertile. I've probably been wasting my time for so long because I was trying to escape from that pain. For the first time in my life, then, I've been blessed with a favorable situation. Everything seems perfect in this world. There's no reason for me to be depressed. It's like the weather is perfect and the wind is blowing in just the right way. If I failed to put my ship out to sea, there was nothing to pin the blame on. I understood what Hanyu was trying to say with the concern and the look on her face. If I didn't escape my death under this fortunate situation, I'd have to accept that my fate wasn't something that could be changed. This is an ideal world where all my friends overcame their problems. I was always in a depressing world, but this time all the pieces of the puzzle matched. If I couldn't change my fate in this world, then it was proof that I couldn't change it in any world. That was the ending that I've been afraid of for a long time. The loss of hope, and the death of my soul. Of the pair of us, I was probably the only one who would die. Hanyu will most likely remain there even if my spirit disappears. She must be afraid of being alone after I lose myself. That's why she's telling me not to expect too much. I bit down on an ice chip inside my mouth. It was pleasantly cold. Hanyu, I know we've been over this many times, But I want you to think about me again. Sure. You want to know why you're being murdered in 1983? Yes. A strong will becomes fate. That means that the reason I get murdered this year is because of someone's strong will. I think you're right. Who will benefit from killing Rikufurude? If that person has a strong will, there must be a clear motive for them doing so. It might sound odd coming from me, but I think most people like Rikufurude. I don't think any villagers would have the motive to kill me. The people who live in this village are all fond of you. Thanks to you. Oh. I'm just showing you my appreciation. Anyway, we now know that the Sonozaki family is not the culprit. I have no idea who else would want to kill me. You know, this village is supposed to be the safest place in the world for you. You're right. It's supposed to be. There are plenty of people who would protect me here. It's ironic. For a long time, I've been refusing help from all those people who are trying to keep me safe. Rika, I think we should rely on Irie. People in this village love and cherish me, but no matter what, they never save me when I try to escape the fate of my death. I spoke to several villagers in the past, but they never believed me, and none of them saved me in the end. They probably didn't believe me because I had no idea who was trying to kill me, or what their motive was. If I could explain that, people might be more accepting of my story. But there's nothing I can do about that. No one would believe a little girl saying that she's going to be killed without rhyme or reason. All they think of me as is the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama and the leader of the Furude family. They do cherish me, but they won't protect me with their lives. But if she activated her cynical personality in front of a bunch of people and made a prediction, wink, that she'll be killed on that day or around that day, then the village would be like, oh no, we need to protect her. And she could even act a bit, sort of what she's been doing all this time, pretend she passes out and then wakes up and is like, what's going on? On the other hand, Irie and his people are totally different. They realize how special I am, and they would try to make sure that nothing happens to me. If I confessed to them that my life was in danger, I'm sure they would do their best to prevent it. They have all the means to protect me from a violent end. However, none of it really worked in the past. It's not that they are unreliable. It's because Takano, the one responsible for protecting me, also gets killed on the same day every time. In other words, asking her for help is completely useless. She's very reliable, but she's also isn't. It's ironic that I'm the only one who knows the reason why they can never save me. I wonder if that's the murderer's plan. Tomitaki and Takano get killed, because they're my guardians. Then I get killed after that. Just give me a few seconds, I'm going to remove the cat. Wait, why is it still going? Alright, be right back. I decided to get in some warm pajamas, seeing as how it's actually pretty cold today for once. 4 months. Put on some warm slippers, and then we're ready to continue. But this line here actually gives you a very good hint. If those two are her guardians and they're killed in every world, well, she already talked about it, but her inevitable death is almost always because those two die. The friends going insane aren't related. Not insane, but paranoid and whatnot. Alright, let's get back in. Yeah. I think Takano's death is definitely related to your own. If it's the same fate, I mean, if the same suspect is killing them for the same motive, I might be able to alter my own outcome by preventing their deaths. I don't know if you remembered, but we've tried that once before. Only once. And we were probably alone. The deaths of Takano and Tomitake mean the loss of my protection. Because the two of them die, the suspect is able to kill me. That's why I've tried to prevent their deaths somehow. But only once. They never believed me. I tried so hard to persuade them, but they didn't listen. I eventually gave up and just thought of their deaths as fated to happen. Everything's been her giving up. It's the same hopeless feeling I used to have towards my parents when I was able to go farther back in time. When I found out that death was inevitable, I lost interest in them. After all that time had passed, I forgot how hard I used to try to prevent my parents' deaths. Besides, I thought you hated Irie and his people. Yeah. They look at us as nothing but their guinea pigs. I support them so I can help Satsuko. But it disgusts me to think that they're only using me as a test subject. I've been resenting Irie for that reason. Still, I should try to get closer to him. After all, he's the only person who understands how important I am. He's the main person I should be talking to, and he has the most potential for protecting me. I can't avoid seeking help from him just because I don't like him. I've asked him for help several times before. But Tomitake and Takano get murdered even so, and it ruins everything. After their deaths, Irie panics and becomes useless. That's why I gave up on seeking help from him. But in this world, I've been blessed with a positive situation. I will never have as lucky a start as this again. This is the best chance I'll ever get, so I should give it my best shot. I really don't like him at all. But he's not a bad person. I should respect him more. He's serious about helping Satsuko, and he's not as much of a mad scientist as I'm inclined to think. Takano is a strange person too, but she's also someone who can give me support. But she thinks I'm only her guinea pig. That's why I don't really want her help. Tomitake is more reliable than Takano, but the biggest problem is that he only visits this village a few times a year. On top of that, he always dies before I get killed, so he can never help me. However, they really are the people I should be talking to. If I can change the fate of their deaths, they should be able to save me from my own. It's possible that the only reason I lived until 1982 was because of their effort. I'm going to approach them once more, and do what I can to try and save them. Oh, don't worry. I expect they'll be murdered anyways, so I'm not getting my hopes up. So I'll be fine, even if this hope's betrayed. Oh, you're such a cruel girl. I chuckled at her comment. If they can escape their fated deaths, then I'm sure they'll greatly influence my own destiny as well. And this time, I'm going to try talking to them with the assumption they'll still be killed. In short, I'll talk to them about how I'll be protected from my coming danger after they die. If they issue such orders, then maybe the guard around me will be strengthened after they do. Smart. Some contingencies. The protection they provide is probably the highest standard of security I could hope for. Yet I lose that the moment Tomitake and Takano die. So I never have their protection after Watanagashi. And therefore, I get killed too. In other words, that's it. Whoever possesses the strongest will to kill me actually just wants me dead. Yet so long as those two are alive, there's tight security all around Hinamizawa. That prevents the killer from getting to me. So, to kill me, they must first kill Tomitake and Takano, the heart of that security. Then my protection falls away, leaving me exposed. The more I reason it out, the more I realize their fates are connected to mine. Thinking from that point of view, my destiny becomes inescapable the moment I abandon them to die. Gee, you should know what you have to do first then. Yes. I have to think about saving their lives before thinking about mine. It's kind of ironic. I gave up on them because I was more determined to save my own life. But I finally came to the conclusion that I have to help them first before helping myself. But there's something I still don't understand. Someone with convictions this strong is trying to kill me for some equally strong motive. Yet no matter how often I debate it, I can't think of anyone who'd benefit from my death. Not only that, but there should only be people who'd want to protect me. Especially since they would do anything to protect me in the present environment. They even eliminated my mother. What? To be perfectly honest, I don't even care about her anymore. I never got along with her, and she's the one who took my father's death the wrong way, making a huge deal out of it like she did. She got what she deserved. This I don't remember. I'm a valuable guinea pig for them, and I can be a bomb, too. No one benefits from making me explode. There's only disaster awaiting them if that happens. Lots of people will be lost, and nobody would gain anything from that. According to Takano, my death would be like the eruption of a volcano in the middle of the village. I'm not interested in what happens after my death, but they're really concerned about it. They're watching me every day to ensure that I don't accidentally hit my head on the corner of a block of tofu and die. It's fair to say that they are here in order to prevent the eruption from happening. This night alone gives you so much. I'd be suspicious of them if they were going to benefit in some way from my death. But as everyone knows, that can't possibly be the case. So let's see. We've got like 3 or 4 things here that, gives you so much info. First, they're her guardians. They're killed every time, so of course she dies every time. And then when she dies, she's the one that causes the Great Hinamizawa disaster. So someone wants to cause that disaster for some reason. That's the assumption, at least, because why would they kill her every single time if they know that happens? Why would they kill her if they don't know that happens every time? They'd have no reason. Now we know her mother doesn't die of suicide, basically. It's a cover-up by this group that wants to keep her alive because she was trying to kill Rika. My death would create nothing but a disaster. They're benefiting from my being alive right now. Perhaps it's not about gain, but about a grudge. Maybe someone has a strong grudge against my family and kills me not knowing that I'm like a bomb to this village. That's why I was suspicious of the 3 families, especially the Sonozaki family. However, after observing them in numerous worlds, I feel that's not the case. I felt that way in several lives, but it always had something to do with that incident with Keiichi and the doll. It's clear that there's nothing going on between the Sonozaki family and mine. In that case, it must be some religious fanatic. If it's not about profit or a grudge, it might be someone who's secretly a deranged cultist. We've already had a series of murders 4 years in a row under the name of Oyashiro-sama's curse. Timing-wise, it would somewhat interesting if I, the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama, were killed on the 5th year. I couldn't stand to be murdered for such a whimsical reason, but such a motive actually seemed fitting. But I don't know any religious fanatics. Ironically, I would have to suspect Takano if that's the case. She's well known for being an eccentric researcher of local histories. She's only interested in the villages history because she already knows who I am. She's doing the research based on the notion that I'm important. So she should have no reason to kill me. She would desire to keep me close to her as a research sample. It's hard to believe that she would kill her favorite toy. She might be willing to kill someone who would try to harm her little toy, though. I will never find out no matter how hard I think. I just know that someone is definitely going to kill me. I don't care about anything else, as long as I can escape that fate. No, I take that back. I want to escape my deadly fate, but I also want all of my friends to be happy. And I want the rest of my life to be happy too. I don't want to hide myself in the forest forever just to get away from my murder. In fact, I've tried that once before, but I still met with the same ending. Living in the forest was a horrible experience. I think I was able to survive until July that time. Geez, that's actually pretty long. That might be the longest I've ever lived. I smiled bitterly and finished off the rest of the orange wine in the glass. I'd have to talk to Irie again. I don't like him, but his people are my only hope. It's getting late. I should go to sleep now. I think so too. Good night. I lay down and closed my eyes, but I couldn't fall asleep right away. Suddenly, I remembered running this world out of nowhere. It was no good when I was thinking about it on my own. I wasn't thinking about it on my own. I was talking it out with Hanyu. Now I know. It's important to talk to other people. Friends have greater meaning than I thought. You can talk to them about anything. I finally realized that. After I asked Takano for help, should I also talk to Keiichi? I've told him before in my previous lives. But he never believed me then, but now you have your predictions that he believes in. Which is a huge difference. And she goes to sleep. Oh, the two of us. Just the two of us. Rika Fude always thought there were 4 members in her family. What? Mother, father, Rika, Hanyu. Gotcha. She could clearly see all of us. Her father, her mother, and me. She had no idea that I was invisible to anyone else but her. My appearance is a little different from human beings. I may otherwise look like a person, but I can't hide my horns. So it's obvious that I'm not human. I'd hoped that because Rika had seen me since she was a baby, she wouldn't be bothered by my ugly horns at all. And that hope came true. Just as chicks believe whatever they see first is their parent, Rika accepted me as a part of her family as a matter of course. Even though I have these horns, Rika and I have been close ever since the day she accepted me as her family member. I became closer to her than her parents. I couldn't even remember the last time I was able to communicate with someone. We spent all day together. But her family, especially her mother, denied my existence. Since her mother so strongly denied me, Rika and her mother became distant. Rika didn't learn certain things that many children learn from their mothers. That's why I taught her instead. It's kind of ironic how that made her mother resent Rika even more. Rika used to fight with her mother a lot about how she talked. I guess she picked up some bad habits from me. Besides the fact that she didn't get along with her mother, Rika was a pretty normal girl. She was just like Satsuko. She loved running around in the woods and doing mischievous things. However, in June 1983, Rika's life was taken. All we want is a happy life for Rika. My power only allows us to search for the path leading to that. It's awful to repeat the same tragedy over and over again. Although it's devastating, we can still find happiness within this endless world. Rikufurude's destiny is a tragic dead end, but I'm secretly enjoying the fact that I get to spend more time with her than what normal people can enjoy. It's not just Rika. They may not see or hear me, but being with Satoko, Mion, Rena, and Keiichi is also very fun. I can never be one of them, but I can still be by their side. Just do a little save just in case we somehow lose our, progress. Click. Alright. Save load. Save number 3. Oh, I'm surprised to see you here on a day other than Sunday. I have something I want to ask Takuno. Is she here today? No. She must be on a date with Risa-san. Ah, I wish I had a date too. Why do you call him Risa? I don't understand. What? You should ask him yourself. It was a small mistake I made when we first met. Ah, that's why. It was funny how he reacted. I don't get it. That's what nicknames are all about, though. What did you want to talk to her about? I'll see her at the meeting tonight, so I'll take a message if you want. Thank you very much. But I'd rather talk to her directly. I see. All right. I should get back to my work now, though. Are you not seeing any patients today? I've been busy with paperwork for the meeting tonight. I've been preparing it for a while, but I didn't have enough time. I'll get in trouble if it's not finished in time. Aren't you busy coaching the baseball team too? You have so much energy. I'm such a busy guy. I've been looking for a cute maid who would take care of the chores and help me with other work, but I've had no such luck. He laughed and looked at his watch. He seemed to be in a hurry. Do you have any idea where Takuno is right now? They're probably going around to different places in the village. I know that they always meet at the shrine. She left not too long ago, so she might still be somewhere near there. I looked at the clock on the wall. I must have just missed her. This was no time to be chatting with Irie. Thank you very much. I'll try the shrine. You shouldn't bother those lovers, since they only see each other 4 times a year. He smiled mischievously and waved his hand in goodbye. I headed back to the shrine. I was going to park my bike by the stairs that lead to the shrine grounds. Setsuko and I are the only people who park our bikes there normally, but I saw more than 10 bikes there today. People must be gathering at the convention room. There are more and more meetings when the Watanagashi festival draws closer. Seeing all these bikes reminded me that summer is nearly here. Most of the bikes were old and beat up. However, I saw 2 unfamiliar ones parked there. They were sporty mountain bikes with the same design but different colors. They must belong to Takuno and Tomitake. I went up the stairs to look for the 2 of them, but I couldn't find either. Was there any place with a great view for taking pictures? I tried looking in places like that, but I still couldn't find them. So I started looking based on what Takuno might be interested in. The torture room. I could only think of one place. How is it, Jiro-san? It's a pretty simple lock. All I need is the right tool. I should be able to open it in a minute. You can do that? You opened the lock to my heart. That's not the only thing you're good at, huh? I'm going to curse you. The two of them jumped in surprise as I suddenly appeared in front of them. Hello, Rika-chan. It wasn't nice of you to scare us like that. It's not nice to try and open the ritual storehouse's lock either. She's right, Takano-san. We can't do something like that. Tomitaka conceded right away, but Takano was stubborn. She made up excuses to try and fool me. Based on my previous lives, I knew just how much interest she had in the storehouse. It was actually rather impressive how hard she tried to cover that up. The ritual storehouse is full of the remainder of the dark history of Onigufuchi. It contains bloody and vicious tools that Takano is fascinated with. She should have a good idea as to what those things are inside of the storehouse, based on what she has been researching. She was making up some story about cultural treasures and such, but it was obvious that she was just making excuses. Tomitaka also seemed impressed, listening to Takano's phony justifications. In the past, I've tried to conceal what was inside of the storehouse from Takano, because I don't want her spreading information about the holy and brutal traditions they used to have in Onigufuchi village. It would be a disgrace. As a member of the Furude family, I can't let that happen. Looking at the history of Onigufuchi in the way Takano does is a painful thing for Hanyu as well. For Hanyu, the ritual storehouse is a special place. I don't know what's so nice about being surrounded by those scary ritual tools. But she feels cozy when she's surrounded by the smell of old times. This storage is like Hanyu's hideout. When I can't see her, she's usually relaxing in here. I don't want Hanyu's happy place to be turned into the bloody, horrifying den of evil Takano believes it to be. That's why I've been keeping Takano away from the ritual storehouse. Come to think of it, why am I so mean to her? Is it because I hate her? I should stop feeling that way. I have to keep in close contact with Takano and Tomitake. I won't give up just because it didn't work before. I'm going to try one more time. This world is different from the other ones. I might be able to change their fate, which in turn might change my own. Hanyu, I'm thinking about showing the ritual storehouse to Takano. Oh. Hanyu made an irritated face. Takano will lose herself in ecstasy if she sees what's inside of there. She'll run around spreading rumors of the bloody history of Onigufuchi. Hanyu wasn't too excited about that prospect. I'm not trying to curry favor with Takano, but I think it might give me a chance to talk to her. Takano holds on to grudges, so if I'm mean to her now, she might not listen to me later. Well. I understand that Hanyu doesn't want her inside this holy place, but she can't do anything more than be irritated about it. I'm the only one who can make the ultimate decision. Besides, she'll forgive me if I promise to eat something sweet later. Takano, if you will keep a secret, I'll let you in. Really? Inside the ritual storehouse? You don't mean inside an emergency shelter, right? I mean it. I'll let you into the ritual storehouse. You mean this storehouse? Inside of this building? I'm not trying to trick you or anything. I'll let you inside. Nippon. Nippon. I had never seen such a big smile on her face before. Now this is a miracle. I'm seeing this face for the first time in 100 years. Tomitake must be feeling the same way. His image of Takano was slowly falling apart as we spoke, I'm sure. No, maybe he just found a new side of her to love instead. I'm surprised that Takano is actually such a funny person. Communication is important. It's sometimes so hard to tell what people are all about. We remained there and watched Takano spinning in delight for a while. This is a secret, so no one could see us going inside. You're right. I'll try and calm her down. I'll go get the keys now. By the time he came back with the key, Takano was totally calm again. She was obviously trying to hide how gleeful she was, though. I thought she was a mature lady, but she might still be a kid at heart. I think they called that something like gap moe. I picked that term up at some point from Keiichi, but I'm still not sure how it's used. Well then, Takano and Tomitake, before we go inside, you must promise me something. Otherwise, you can't go in. Of course. You're willing to break the rules to open the Forbidden Storehouse for us. We'll keep our promises. Takano-san, you have to take this seriously. I am taking it seriously. My image of Takano is falling to pieces right now. Same here. Her market is crashing all over the world. Ren said it before. It's not a good idea to think about problems all on your own. I always hated the crazy part of Takano. I didn't want to be close to her. But I never thought she could act this way. She was acting almost like Rena does when in her cute mode. Had I known that she was as funny a person as this, I wouldn't have felt resentment toward her. I realize how important communicating can be. First of all, you have to promise you won't tell anybody that you went inside the storehouse. Do not tell anyone. Of course I won't. I'll promise. Takano put her hands to her chest. She also forced Tomitake to do the same. Tomitake trying to keep up with Takano too. It was funny to watch. Sorry. Also, you can't damage anything inside the storehouse. Of course not. Is it okay if I take pictures? Me. You can, but I'll charge 100 yen per picture. What? How much money do you have on you right now, Jiro-san? If you pay me 10,000 yen, you can take all the photos you want. That's a good deal. I'll take it. Jiro-san. They paid me the money for real. Hanyu seemed exciting, knowing that the money could be used for buying desserts. Oh. Takano was such a nice person. You're so greedy. I finally got approval from Oyashiro-sama, the master of the storehouse. We'd have no more problems now. The ritual storehouse is behind the building with the convention room. Sometimes people come out for a cigarette break. I can't let anybody see us entering. You're good. No one is around. Tomitake checked out the scene and gave me the signal to go ahead. I nodded at him and unlocked the door. I pushed open the heavy door just far enough for us to sneak inside. It'll look suspicious if you wait outside like that. What? I can come inside too? He seemed surprised I was asking him to come inside with us. Tomitake, of course, wasn't particularly interested in what was inside the storehouse. I expected his surprised reaction. Jiro-san, Rikichan is telling you to come inside. Come on now. Alright. Tomitake squeezed inside as Takano urged him. I turned the light on and closed the door. Then I put the chain on from inside. You're locking us in? Just so that a bad kitty cat won't sneak inside, you know? Are you talking about me? Takano, a cat's supposed to go all meow meow. Nippon. What do you mean? If you don't act like a cat, I'm not going to let you see what's in here. I brought cat ears and a collar with a bell for you, too. If you don't put them on, get on all fours and meow, then I won't open the next door. The shrine storehouse has 2 doors so that people can't see inside when the first door is open. At the moment, we were inside the entry chamber. The real storehouse is in the room beyond. What? That's a bad joke, Riku-chan. You wouldn't really. Huh? What the hell? I'll do it if I have to. You're testing me to see how devoted I am to my research, aren't you, Riku-chan? Fine. That's what you want. Then I'll wear cat ears, bloomers, and a tail. Crawl on all fours before an empty milk bowl and beg, please let me drink your milk, master. She definitely would have joined our club if she was around our age. I agree. Hey, remember how they said shredded stocks fell like snow on Wall Street during the Great Crash? Taco's Valley right now reminds me of that. Bring it on, Riku-chan. Are you sure I only have to wear the ears and the collar? Takano-san? This door isn't even locked. See? Push it and it opens. Really? My dear. How shameful of me. Tomitaka has no sense of humor. He just turned off a lot of viewers who are looking forward to seeing Takano in the cat outfit. Anyway, he's right. You just have to push it. Nippa. Once we went through the door, we found ourselves inside the storage area. There were no windows in there, so it was completely dark, even during the day. There were several light bulbs hanging from the ceiling, but they were dim, and their light only exaggerated the darkness inside. Oyasho-sama's statue and the altar dominated the center of the room. They were surrounded by tons of ancient torture implements. They were all over the floor, walls, and ceiling. It looked like a torture room, rather than just storage for tools intended for one. This is amazing. Tomitaka was rendered speechless. They were nothing like those fake torture implements that they might have seen in a wax museum or someplace like that. The tools in this room are the genuine articles. I never like to think about it, but I'm sure some of them really were used. These authentic tools always have a big impact on the people who see them. But Tomitaka was the only one who was shocked, since he was the only normal person in the room. Takano's eyes were sparkling. She was taking pictures while meowing like a cat. This place isn't special to me. Of course, I know I'm supposed to treat it as a holy place, but I'm so used to seeing all these things after coming here countless times since I was little. To me, it's nothing but a storehouse with a lot of old stuff inside. As for Hanyu, she says it's the only place the air from times past lingers in the present day, so she actually finds it comforting. I get in a good mood when I come here, because Hanyu gets in a good mood. This is a relaxing place for her. As I watched Tomitaka's reaction, I noticed how totally off my values are from normal people's. Takano's reaction seems a bit too fast. Seemed more natural to me in a sense. Let's try to turn it down just a tiny bit. Hanyu seemed to be bothered by Tomitaka's reaction too. Maybe it was a bad idea to let him come inside after all. Not like I could kick him out at this point. Hanyu and I sat on a cushion in front of the altar and watched Takano dance with childish glee while Tomitaka made touching efforts to keep up. I wonder why they made so many torture implements. The whole purpose of torture is to make people confess something, right? Why was it necessary for them to have so many? Shiro-san, do you know that there are 2 ways to threaten people with torture implements? The first one is to inflict pain on the victim. Then you inflict mental pain. Is to threaten the victim by just showing him the tools. In that sense, having a countless number of them can give tremendous fear to the victim. I've heard that torture requires skill. I suppose it's hard to really hurt people without killing them. Tomitaka acted like he's having a conversation with Takano, but his voice was obviously unsteady. Some Western torture implements were so vicious that if they really used it on the victim, they would have killed him instantly. To be precise, there are 2 types of them. First, there are simple tools that are simply used to make the victim confess. The other is for entertaining those who are watching the torture. I'm frustrated that some people can't tell the difference between those 2. L- Let me ask you, what were they trying to gain from the victims by using these tools? Tomitaki asked me that. He must have thought that Takano would say something far more scary if he asked her. He's forgetting that I'm just a little innocent girl. I think they were forcing their victims to obey the rules of Onikufuchi Village. That's what I believe. Am I right? Yes, you are. Most of these tools were never built for actual use. They were simply displayed in front of the villagers to intimidate them. That's why there are records saying that when they actually tried to use them, some of them were the wrong size or simply malfunctioned. So they really did use some of them then. That's not a pleasant story. Some people were just not obedient, despite the threat of Oyashiro-sama's curse. Hey, Rika-chan, are you sure that these tools were mainly used to intimidate people in the village? I've heard that these were used for cooking and dissecting during the real Watanagashi. Jaime was making a frustrated face. She didn't want to remember the dark history of Onikufuchi Village. People performed countless torture ceremonies in front of her, claiming that they were doing it in her name, the name of Oyashiro-sama. She asked them not to do that, but no one was able to hear or see her. No comment. Nippon. She always talks to me about it, too. Long ago, the villagers of Onikufuchi would receive a divine message. Go down to the foot of the mountain, kidnap people, and eat them. Right? I wonder why they did that. They did that. Was it a display of force or something? I believe it was a type of ceremony to make them all realize they were higher on the food chain. The greatest outspoken reasons Onikufuchi forbade intermingling with outsiders were that the village was a holy land, and they were transcendent, greater beings than humans. Mingling with tainted humans will bring corruption. That's what they were taught, so they probably needed to reaffirm their idea that they were above humans at regular intervals. In Japan, there was a tradition of displaying severed heads on bikes. While such a warning is inhumane, it's an extremely good deterrent. The victim who was brutally tortured in public, and then they were eaten alive. What would you think if you saw something like that? Anyone would simply think that they wouldn't want to be in that same situation. There's also a history of crucifixion in this country. They hung the victim and stabbed him with spurs in front of an audience. People don't really die from being stabbed once or twice. They might have a chance to die if they were stabbed in the stomach or chest, but if it's not instant like a guillotine. They bled from their wounds, their guts were pulled out, and they would eventually die by drowning in their own blood. In a sense, a guillotine is such a merciful tool. In that sense, a guillotine is such a merciful tool. Did you know? The guillotine was invented for the nobility. It was invented because they were able to die instantly, which wasn't the case with shooting or hanging. The nobles got special treatment all the way up to death. There's an old black and white movie that I know of. It's a love story set during the French Revolution, but the final guillotine scene is the best part. The nobles are lined up and bound in chains, and they get publicly executed on the guillotine one by one. Drink some water. It's funny how this chapter had the first choice and it was almost a pointless one. Snap. Snap. Next. Snap. Next. Snap. Next. Human lives are taken away like they're on a conveyor belt. There's no last words or prayers or anything. Snap next, snap next. It's not even that entertaining, because it's over in a flash. No one holds any sentiment for their deaths. The audience enjoys how the nobles' heads are sliced off like vegetables. It's like a show to them. I think it's more respectful to kill someone slowly and brutally. That way, people will pay a little more attention to them, right? Well, Yashiro-sama here was the one who made this brutal torture possible. Takano raises her hand to honor the statue of Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama is just an idol created by human beings. That idol was worshipped with fear and made divine. Yes, people laid the bricks of his church with rules and doctrines, strengthening it with the mortar of curses and malediction. As they stacked and stacked those bricks up high, its height reached up to heaven, and their god was placed above it all. Gods are born because people desire them. So, when people seek to rule others with fear, they become the collection of blood, torture, and pure terror. And here, they call that god Oyashiro-sama. In other words, this proves that the stairs to godhood are not built by gods, but by human hands, and shows the way for humans to attain further heights. And her passionate lecture was interrupted by a loud noise. As I looked back, Hanyu was jumping up and down with her eyes full of tears. She was stomping the floor as hard as she could, making a loud noise instead of screaming out with her unheard voice. However, it all amounted to the same thing. Hanyu cannot be heard by people. That's not right. That's not right. I'm not like that. Hanyu. I hate seeing people getting tortured or killed. I want people to be happy together. Of course, not everything is perfect. But I'd never ask people to do such horrible things. Hanyu. You are who you are. Oyashiro-sama has nothing to do with you. That's not right. That's not right. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I hate Takano. I hate her. She always says horrible things about me. She's a bully. Was it a bad idea for me to bring Takano in here? I knew that Takano would get overstimulated and say something like this. Fortunately, the Hanyu's rejections indirectly reached Takano, and she stopped lecturing. Somehow, Tomitake had heard the noise that Hanyu made. He pressed his finger in front of his lips and told Takano to be quiet. What is it? Well, I just heard a sound like a child was jumping around. There might be a child somewhere near this building. Really? I didn't hear anything. I'm sure I heard it. Takano-san, we're in here in secret. I think you should look around without making any noise. Takano seemed disappointed, but Tomitake was right. She had no choice but to be quiet. Tomitake, there are no children around this place. Are you sure? You didn't hear it either? I'm sure I heard a noise. I heard it too. But it wasn't coming from outside the building. It was jumping right behind me. I guess you heard it from far away, but it was very loud to me. I was standing in front of the altar. and the statue of Oyasho-sama was right behind me. Tomitaki seemed freaked out after hearing what I just told him. Although he was trying to fake a smile, his face was turning pale. Takano. Oops. I think I nodded off. However, Takano didn't seem scared at all. Takano, you can't say things that would upset Oyasho-sama in front of him. Oyasho-sama is very angry right now. Can't you hear his voice? It's fortunate that she can't, to be honest. Even if she heard it, it would be nothing but tears. My job as the Shrine Maiden to begin with is to tell humans what Oyasho-sama is feeling. I'm responsible for speaking on Hanyu's behalf. Takano must have realized I was very serious about what I just said. She apologized to me right away. I'm sorry. I took it too far. I'm sorry, Oyasho-sama. You are a god, as long as people worship you. Even though I may not worship you, you are still holy. I'm sorry for disrespecting you. Oyasho-sama loves sweet food. You'll get cursed unless you offer something sweet through me. Tomitaki couldn't help but smile. Takano also smiled. She bowed to me, promising to bring over some cream puffs soon. Takano finally stopped saying bad things about Oyasho-sama. She also promised to bring me something sweet. Hanyu was still upset, but she was probably satisfied for the moment. But I didn't know what she meant by the 3 fingers she was showing to me. Was she telling me what to ask Takano for that too? Being her shrine maiden is not an easy thing. Oyasho-sama is saying that he wants at least 3 cream puffs. I just want to make it clear that it's not me asking for that. They took it as a joke I made to reduce the tension. Tomitaki and Takano cracked up, holding their stomachs. Hanyu was looking at them with surprise, not knowing why they were laughing. My face, meanwhile, was turning red with embarrassment. Fine. I'll get 3 delicious cream puffs for Oyasho-sama. Should I get some for you and Sasuko-chan too? No, I don't need any. But there is something that I want to tell you. What is it? Since you let me inside the storehouse today, I'm willing to do anything for you now. Then, I want you to believe what I'm about to tell you right now. Please don't ask me why, or make fun of me. Please believe me and change fate to save me. Both of them are surprised to see such a serious look on my face. I was sure they'd be surprised. After all, I was about to explain to them that they were going to die in 2 days. I'm sure they'd want to deny that. But I knew a fair bit about their deaths. If I could explain it to them in detail, they wouldn't be able to laugh it off. I'd talked to them about it several times in previous lives, but they never took it seriously. I only had that slight possibility that they might believe me. Hopefully, the possibility is as small as a miracle. It should be engraved on the side of a die. My friends overcame their fates, and they all rolled on a 6. Should I call that a miracle? Please, God, let me roll a 6 again. Please let them believe that death is upon them. Ivy turned the light on as soon as he finished his presentation. There were about 8 men wearing lab coats inside the meeting room. The man sitting at the far end was the only person without one. Upon seeing Iri, finished his speech, he clapped his hands several times. Having noticed his applause, the other men in the room soon followed suit. Excellent. Very, very excellent. I'm quite satisfied with your progress. Your hard work has paid off, Dr. Irie. No, I would say it's because of my incredible staff. I really do owe them my gratitude. We really are getting close to finding a project perfect cure. There are a few more sticking points left, but they can all be resolved with time and funding. We're counting on your support on that front. With sufficient funding and labor, I estimate it will be done within 3 years. By 86, we should be able to establish a complete treatment for it. From here on out, our other challenges are establishing a treatment package that other unspecialized medical facilities can easily administer, and developing an easier, cheaper test for it. With regards to testing, Dr. Irie is currently researching ways to detect potential patients through blood samples. Once that process is established, the test can be administered along regular physical exams, and we believe that will drive costs down significantly. That's wonderful to hear. The current tests are pretty involved and expensive after all. Sorry, I'm truly grateful to hear you're considering the costs too. Healthy citizens are supposed to be our nation's assets, so it really is shameful to bring up the budget, but from our position, we'd like to shave every yen we can off the costs. Of course, we understand. If we established a treatment that was impossible due to the cost, it'd be a pie in the sky. It's our job to develop a practical treatment, not a theoretical one. Tomitake started clapping again, and everyone followed him. You're truly a respectable man, as well as a talented doctor. I didn't realize that was Tomitake. I'm honored to have met you. No, I can't sincerely accept your applause until every person has been treated, and the so-called curse of Oyasho-sama has been exterminated. Hope for your continued cooperation until that time. Likewise. I'll do everything I can to make sure you receive almost every yen in the budget you're outlined. Likewise. Please keep up the good work. Tomitake and Irie shook hands, and the meeting was filled with applause yet again. That's it for tonight's meeting. Tomorrow's the main event we're all waiting for, the budget hearing. Let's all push hard. Naku was being sarcastic, of course. The staff members in lab coats were smiling bitterly. Well, I'll give my greatest efforts for the budget you all need too. To be honest, I want to be on your side myself. But I'm the one who has to explain things to the brass, and the one they will come down on directly. You have my deepest apologies, but regretfully, I'll be rigorously examining the budget. Please continue lending me your cooperation. That's your job, so we can't blame you. We'll see you tomorrow. In any case, that's it for today. Once Irie declared the meeting over, his white-coated staff gathered up their documents and left after glancing at the clock. It was almost midnight. The staff who were off tomorrow night might be alright, but those scheduled to work needed to sleep soon, or it would hinder them the next day. Takano gathered up the butts from the ashtrays as well as the empty coffee cans. My, some people didn't drink their coffee. We managed to get a coffee budget for meetings approved, But I wonder if they'll cut that budget if people don't drink it. Don't be so mean. I'm not doing this because I enjoy it, you know? Oh, Takano-san. I'll take that leftover coffee. I'll take one too. That way the budget won't go to waste. The two of them seemed more relaxed with the other staff members gone. Tomitake and Irie, loosened their collars in a sign of relief. How are Rika-chan and Satoko-chan? Are they doing fine? I heard last week that Satoko-chan's test results weren't that good recently. No, but it actually wasn't that big of a deal. She was a bit out of sorts because of the heat wave. Her new results came out very stable. Dr. Eri is very passionate about Satoko-chan. That's not true. As a physician, I treat all my patients equally, to the best of my ability. But if she feels grateful and decides to become my maid, that would be wonderful. Though that's proving quite difficult. Oops. It would be wonderful if there was a way to completely cure Satoko-chan. But I guess that's what's difficult. Once a patient reaches the L5 state like Satoko-chan has, it's easy for them to re-experience hallucinations, similar to a patient suffering from flashbacks. Those technically weren't caused by the disease, but by the normal defense mechanisms cultivated in the brain. Like the idiom, a scalded dog fears cold water, suggests the brain naturally uses past experiences proactively for our survival. In simpler terms, emotional trauma. Worse yet, we suspect she may have suffered damage directly to her frontal lobe, so she needs more delicate counseling and long-term medication than the usual trauma patient, sorry. You may be able to treat her illness, but you can't treat her low mental health. Is that what you're saying? There are plenty of people functioning in society with emotional trauma. Even if she's just one more to the mix, that's still a miracle of recovery, considering the state she used to be in. You may think about the diabetic patients. There's no cure. Wait. Sorry, I got lost. Even if she's one more, that's still a miraculous recovery considering the state she used to be in. Alright. Think about diabetic patients. There's no cure, but many of them live happily by managing their condition. She still needs 3 shots a day? Just a moment, I need to mute that. Sorry about that. Roll back over here. And get back here. No, she's recovered quite a bit, so she's down to twice a day. I think that puts a lot less strain on her, too. She was so afraid in the beginning. But Rika-chan talked her into it. Into getting the shots, you mean? Probably everything. Satoko-chan was told that she's receiving financial support from us by supporting our research. So she thinks that she's getting 2 shots a day not because she's sick, but as a test subject for your research? Jiro-san, it would be a horrible thing for us to explain to her what kind of illness she's suffering from. Didn't I tell you this before? Ah, well, I remember. Sorry for being insensitive. If you happen to see Satoko-chan somewhere, please be kind to her. Alright. I will. While we're here with this outfit, we need to see it. By the way, Rika-chan is such a strange, strong girl. Her background is similar to Satoko-chan's, yet she's leading such a steady life. We have Rika-chan and her deceased parents to thank for all of this. Without their understanding and support, we would have never discovered even a hint at a cure so soon. She even endured our inhumane experience very well. We wouldn't have the results we do today without her support after overcoming her parents' death. I'd like to repay the debt we owe her somehow. I agree. Tokyo also recognized that Rika-chan and Satoko-chan have rendered us a distinguished service. They will be compensated for their work someday. Hey, you guys don't even want to pay for our coffee filters. Again, don't be mean. You keep bringing that story up. But even though all we can do is compensate them with money, I wish there was a way to pay them back from our hearts. Takano muttered like she's talking to herself, but it almost sounded as if she was talking to them. I'm sure there are many ways for us to show our appreciation. There are many ways we can pay them back. Dr. Irie, Coach, I guess you're already doing that for them all the time. I suppose I should be nice to those girls too. Indeed, plus, Rika-chan was very nice to you today. I nearly forgot. I have to take that film to get developed first thing in the morning. Alright, since instant cameras weren't such a thing then. It was such a wonderful experience. History, culture, the smell of it, everything about it was wonderful. Iria wondered what she could have experienced during the day. Tomitake could only smile and act like he didn't know anything. By the way, Takano-san, what do you think of what Rika-chan told us near the end today? What are your thoughts? Oh? I want to believe that it's only paranoia. She did say that there's no absolute proof either. What's going on? From what you've said, it sounds like Rika-chan is showing some bad symptoms. Her test results from last week. I thought they came out pretty good, but did you say anything different, Dr. Irie? No. They were as stable as always. If Satoko-chan's results are waved during high tide, Rika-chan's are the quiet surface of a lake. Just like their personalities. What's the possibility of a sudden outbreak? What are you talking about? Don't tell me Rika-chan is showing symptoms of the disease progressing. Rikichan asked us for something today. She wanted our protection, because she feels like someone is going to murder her. No way. Who would try to kill her? That's impossible. Rikichan is a beloved mascot here in the village. I don't think she has any enemies. I think it was just her imagination, too. Why does she think that someone is trying to kill her? If she's experiencing paranoia, she may be in the early L5 stage. She said she saw it in her dreams. She wants us to reinforce security around her, because she feels threatened. For a young girl like that, it's not uncommon to get scared after having a nightmare. But we need to determine if it was really just a dream, or if she's showing early symptoms of the disease. Okay. Not really. Let's give her an urgent checkup tomorrow. This is like revealing everything. I mean, yeah, it's revealing a lot. You're gonna get some pretty big spoilers as you're going through this. Okay, let's give her an urgent checkup tomorrow. I really hope nothing is wrong. Yep, you're gonna get burned. She's the most valuable person in this village. Have a good night, Teaspoon. I hope she's okay. But what should we do if she is? Jiro-san, if that's what she wants in return for what she showed us today, it's not even a big deal. If she's worried about her safety and wants to rely on us, I think we should support her. That's what paying her back with our hearts is all about. You're right. Even if she was just dreaming, we'll lose her trust if we don't support her. This is our chance. We found a way to show her our appreciation. Yeah, I agree. Besides, she has a right to seek that support from us. Yes, we have to make sure to protect her at all times. That's true. Though that's your job, not mine. So please, give her your best. Understood. Takano-san, please do what you can to keep her safe. It's probably not so serious that we need to bring in the bloodhounds from Tokyo. True, you can't ask them to come over just because Rikufurude had a nightmare. Alright. I'll order at least 4 members of the Mountain Dogs to watch her 24 hours a day. That's impressive. That's tighter security than when I went to Tokyo. She deserves special treatment. I'll make sure she gets the best security in the country. No one would dare plot an assassination on her. I'll get the best bodyguards out there. Not even a super spy could lay a finger on her. Until we get murdered. Meow meow. Oyufuchi Banzai. Takuma-san, did something good happen? Well, I mean... Oof. After looking through the items that had been donated for the auction, we'd realized that there was nothing kids would be interested in. Keiji insisted that the show wouldn't be a success unless it was something that kids would beg their parents to buy. He's probably right. For that reason, we went to the toy store again today. We were trying to get the owner to donate something that would interest all the kids attending the festival. I see. I did get to sell off my old stock. I mean, you know, different games. The other day, because of you guys. I want to support you if I can. My grandma wants the auction to be something that both kids and adults can enjoy. That's what she's hoping for. You understand? Can't you help us, Uncle Yoshiro? Well, if that's what your grandmother wants. Okay, I'll do my best. I don't know what she would say to me on New Year's if I refused. Wow. I guess Mion's grandma is pretty scary. We have never met, but I have heard of how terrifying she can be. Let's check something real quick. Oh, so this acts just like that. Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to see something on my streaming side of things. According to Shion-san, she enjoys ripping people's nails off. That's just Shi-chan trying to scare you. I know Mi-chan's grandma very well. She's a very nice lady. As long as you're polite to her. I'm impressed that she can refer to that monster as a nice lady. She's scary when you're not polite. Also, she's scary when you don't show proper respect. Also, Nipa. So are you saying that she wouldn't be nice to me? Kei-chan, we have a deal. He said we can take some stuff. Haha. His laugh was a painful one. How come the people in this village always listen to Mion? It's the power of the Sonozaki family. Mion is like their princess. No one would dare contradict her. You're also the princess of the Furuta family, aren't you? Thank you. The members of Sonozaki branch families who own businesses usually get their funding from Mion's family. They can never go against the will of the main branch. The Sonozaki family made a fortune on the black market after the war, and they've invested those funds as capital into businesses run by their family and the villagers. They charge almost no interest and require no cosigners or collateral. As long as one gives a proper explanation, they'll provide a notable sum. The money has to be paid back, of course, but it's lent between family and community. They're willing to make some adjustments if one goes begging. For that reason, everyone is borrowing money from the family. And that, more than anything, is why they can never refuse a request from Mion. Because of the implication. Alright, try and find something that might be interesting to kids. I need something big in size. It's not that exciting to sell a deck of cards at an auction, you know? Maybe a giant teddy bear. Big things will attract more attention. So we need to look for something big and expensive. Oh. Leave it up to me. I'm very good at finding things like that. I wonder if she will find it. Let's try and be considerate of the owner too, everyone. Wow, look, Rena. This stuffed animal is so cute. What? Oh. It's adorable. I'm taking all of them home with me. All of them. You know, you guys, Please don't take too much. Okay? The shop owner smiled bitterly at us. Hmm? What do you think this is, Cage-kun? It says swing on it. Is it like a playground kind of swing? Wow, it's so heavy. It must be a build-it-yourself swing. You can build it inside the house or outside in the yard. Oh, interesting. It's not as big as the swings you see on playgrounds, but it's big enough for little kids to play on. It's fun in the beginning, but they'll eventually get bored with it. It'll be used to hang the laundry on instead. That sounds like it's coming from experience. Did you have one of these, Keiichi? In my last house. I got it for Christmas when I was little. It looks really impressive, doesn't it? That's a good choice, Rena. Here, Kei-chan, stick this paper on it. People from the council will pick it up later. Mion handed Keiichi a piece of paper that said Town Council on it. She was carrying around a whole stack of them. She's really thorough when it comes to things like that. Keiichi-san, how about this one? It's a small pool you can put in your yard. Ho ho, that's a good choice too. What do you think, Mion? Well, in Hinamizawa, you can always go to the river if you want to play in the water. I don't know about that one. I mean, Satsuko pointed it out, so maybe you can't. But this goldfish pattern is adorable. I think this pool is a good one. I think. I think so as well. Doesn't it just look perfect for setting up all kinds of traps? No way, no way. I'm the one who's going to end up trapped in there. We're not taking this one. How about this one? It's an elephant slide. Me. I think this one is nice too. I want to take it home with me. If I push Sato off the top, she would roll down like a ball. Ah, wouldn't that be so much fun? Don't you think so, Hanyu? Oh, stop being so mean to Satoko. Oh, that one's nice too. I'm taking it home with me. Alright, let me stick this paper on it. We enjoyed the privilege of picking donations for a while. I started to feel bad seeing the owner's troubled expression. I patted him on the head to try to comfort him. Rub, rub, pat, pat. Nippon. Wow, this is Mahjong. What is it, Kei-chan? Keiichi found something in the tabletop game section. I walked toward him to see what it was. There I saw a green mat on the table, with the Mahjong table tiles all lined up on it. They were arranged in a square shape, as if someone was playing there until just a few minutes ago. Huh? What's this, Uncle Yoshiro? Were you playing Mahjong at work? No, that's not it. I'd expected to see board games and card games in the toy store, not Mahjong. I guess it isn't weird for a toy store to sell this, though. Wow, it's been a long time. I think I've forgotten most of the rules. Whoa, it's incredible for a girl like you to know Mahjong. Oh, let me guess. You guys played this at the club, right? It must have been the end of last year. Of course, I was very good at it, too. There were lots of traps lying in my discard pile. Mion, listen here. You had 4 young girls together. You played mahjong at school? Hey, Kei-chan, you can't underestimate this game. Hinamizawa gets a lot of snow in the winter. The whole village enjoys mahjong in those months. We hole up inside a warm room and enjoy some tangerines and mahjong. We turn on the end-of-year music program on the TV. That's what winter is like here. That's probably how the Sonozaki family spends its winter. That doesn't mean the whole village does that. I forgot that Hinamizawa gets lots of snow in the winter. I see. I guess mahjong would be the standard game adults play around the kotatsu. Kei-chan, mahjong is a serious game. It's a necessity in every man's social life. When they sit around the square jungle, they become Seiryu in the east, Byaku in the west, Suzuku in the south, and Genbu in the north. Abandoning their hierarchy and squabbles, they fight on equal terms. It's the same spirit as in the ancient Olympic Games. See? It's going a bit slow. Isn't it amazing? I'm less concerned with that, more afraid of what kind of punishment you'll set when you bring it out at club again. Do you know how to play Keiichi-kun? My dad loves it. He always forces me to play when he doesn't have enough people to play with. I don't know if I'm good, but I know the rules. That's like knowing 80% of the game. I don't know how to calculate anything though. Anyway, why is there a mahjong table here? Everyone looked at the owner. Well, I was talking with a customer this afternoon, and he said you could show me how to do the Subamigaishi. What? Did you say the Subamigaishi? That's the greatest scam in the history of mahjong. It's the ultimate technique, developed in ancient China. Its power was so great that the emperor of that time banned its use. I didn't know that there were people who could use it in this era. Oh, I got this info from the history of ancient mahjong. Another comic. Subamigaishi. Isn't that a technique of Musashi Miyamoto's? How does that involve mahjong? It's a bold technique where you switch your hand with the wall in a flash. Nipa. Hey Mion. Why would you teach something that bad to an innocent girl like this? What? Well, yeah. How? I want to see it. Can anybody do it? Can you, Rika-chan? I only know about it. I can't do it myself. Satsuko, weren't you practicing it a while ago? I'm just gonna go feed the cat. Be right back. Wait a minute, Satsuko. Don't practice something like that at your age. Literally cheating, basically. But she's a trap master. It sounds like something she would do. Oh, the best time to set a trap is when the opponent is sure of his victory. So did you ever get to master it? You were practicing, right? Well, I could never use it in a real game. Even in practice, I only succeeded once or twice. Wow, I want to see it. Do it for us. Me, I want to see it too. Very well, y'all. Don't laugh if I can't pull it off, alright? Satsuko sat in front of the table and started piling up the tiles. Do you really think Satsuko can do it? Well, I don't know. It'll be amazing if she can do it, and cute if she can't. I don't care if she makes it or not, because I enjoy seeing her act shy like this. Well, first of all, you start by playing the tiles you want into the wall ahead of time. I see. Then you layer swap them for your hand. But how? Sleight of hand? Well, you instantly swap all the tiles from your hand with the planted tiles. This is a scene I'd love to show you all by running a video through Enscriptor, but hey. Unfortunately, I can't time that to the text and the sound now. What? I have no idea whom he could be talking to. You say, looking at the camera. Are you ready? Everyone gulped and looked closely at the table. Satsuko moved her hands like a swan on a lake. She had 13 tiles in front of her. Then she silently flipped them all face down. Then she lifted them up by holding both ends and silently placed them at the back of the edge of the wall. This is it, Satsuko. I don't know if I can do it, but I'll try. Let me just check that real quick, because I feel like I missed a line there. Against the back edge of the wall, keeping them hidden. We all went quiet. Satsuko reached out towards the Yamahai. Then she grabbed the whole thing with her small little hands. Let me explain how hard it is to pick up the wall for those unfamiliar with Mahjong. Your hand is usually made up of 13 tiles. If you push them from either side hard enough with both hands, you can lift them in the air. You might drop and scatter them if you're not experienced, but it's still not that difficult. However, it's not that easy for the wall. The Yamahai usually consists of 17 tiles. And plus, there are 2 rows on top of each other. This is the important part. It's not as simple as lifting up 2 rows of 17 tiles on top of each other. You must lift up the 17 tiles from the top row, and only the 4 tiles on the edges of the bottom row. By setting them on the 13 tiles from your hand placed behind the wall, you can bury your hand in the wall, and the lower 13 tiles that remain from moving the wall become your new hand. This is the ultimate technique, the Tsubamigaishi. It's a technique that lets you switch all 13 tiles in a split second. See, here I thought it was just a quick one sleight of hand. You can do it, Satsuko. I could see Satsuko trying to concentrate. She was supposed to be doing this more naturally since it's a technique for cheating. But since for the moment it was just performance, I suppose it's fine. Someone audibly swallowed, and at that moment she made her move. There! Crash. She had put too much strength into it. Her tiles fell apart. Oh no! I can't do it. Not that easy, you know? I see. But I think I understood the gist of it from Neon's explanation. Let me try it. I'm going to try too. I guess I have to master this one now, or else it'll be troublesome later on. I'm trying it too then. All of us except Neon took a seat and started piling up the tiles. At a glance, you look like small children who are just playing with the tiles. But they're actually practicing the Tsubamigaishi. I'm proud of how my club members are growing up to be decent kids. My hands and Satsuko's hands are about the same size. If she can do it, I know I can too. Of course, I can't really use this trick during a real game. We were just playing around. I was having a good time. I've never done this before in my 100 years of life. I think my hands are slowing down. I'm so frustrated. It's hard to just lift up the first 13 tiles. Oh. Listen, Rena, you have to use your pinky fingers. There you go. It's going to explode if you push too strongly. But you have to use enough strength to lift it up. It's difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult to lift up the first 13 tiles to begin with. Not everyone can get past this stage. Satsuko was doing well the first time, but she lost her concentration and is dropping her tiles now. I took Keiichi's advice and supported the tiles with my pinky fingers and lifted it up. Oh, I did it. I lifted up the first 13 tiles. Good for you. Rika-chan has a lead on us. We need to do better. You're good at this. Can you do the next step? It's not that easy. But I really want to get it right before anyone else. That's what we're racing towards right now. I'm going to do it. Is Rika-chan going to do the first one? You're done if you pull up to the next move. That one is so difficult. Go, Rika! This is the hard part. I have to lift up the whole top row and only 4 tiles from the bottom row. I probably don't need to use too much force. I can do this. Crash. Oh, too bad. With the number of tiles increased to 17, it got more difficult, didn't it? I'm going to do this before everyone else. There'll probably be a punishment for those who can't make it. What? Is that true, Mion? I wonder what I should do. There were only 4 seats, so Mion wasn't even in the game. Did that mean she could set up a punishment game with no risk to herself? Oh, it's not fair. You're not even playing Mi-chan. If you have time to complain, you should practice harder. This is getting interesting. I thought we came all the way to Okonomiya to get donations for the auction. Why are we doing this now? Although, that's why I love hanging out with these people. If it wasn't for them, I would have lost my soul a long time ago. I would have become a worthless piece of flesh. I've heard that rabbits can die from loneliness, but humans are no different. Humans can also die from boredom. Honey, I really do think this world is special. I know all these events could happen individually, but now they are all happening at the same time. This is like a miracle. Their fate really was too unfortunate up to this point. You deserve this kind of happiness every once in a while. You're right. If I have such a miserable and deadly fate, I do deserve some happiness that evens out the sadness. I felt that the luck I'd been getting in this life was something that I'd been saving up for 100 years. The people I love are all healthy and happy. I also asked Takano to reinforce my security. I don't know if she really will, but she promised me. She never did that in my previous lives. I think her reaction to my request was the best one so far. In fact, she was skipping on her way back home. She must have been in a good mood. I was sorry for breaking the family rules, but I think it was worth it. I told them that their lives were also in danger, but I doubt they really believed that. They didn't seem to be frightened by it. I'd have to give them a final warning on the night of Watanashi. If I try warning them too often, they'd never believe me. Does that mean that there's nothing for me to do in this world right now? I don't know. Until the moment of truth is here, it's impossible to tell. I'm blessed with miraculously good fortune in this world. I gave it my best effort using all my previous experience. But did I do enough? I wish I could have my fortune told. I just wanted something to tell me that I did everything right. Please tell me what my fortune is. And as soon as I made the wish, God granted it to me. Oh, what's going on in here? I suddenly heard a low voice. Keiichi and Rena dropped their tiles as soon as they heard it. Hey, Oishi-san. What are you doing in a toy store during your working hours? Oh there. Don't worry, I'm off duty today. You mean bad luck today? What are you all doing here? Eh? It looked like Oishi was ordering something from the owner. I wonder what this old guy wanted from a toy store of all places. Mia was wondering the same. And she asked him instead of me. My mahjong mat is warped because I kept it rolled up in storage for a long time. The green cloth is peeling off the underside of my kotatsu board, so I couldn't use that one either. You play mahjong at home? That's a nice way to spend your day off. Perhaps you got in trouble at the mahjong bar and they banned you from going in there or something. No way, no way. I'm a gentleman in any public establishment. I'd never cause any trouble like that. Anyway, you kids like mahjong? I figured that young people didn't even know about the game. Please don't underestimate my club. We'll play anything that has a winner or a loser. We never turn our backs to a battle. We play mahjong, slot machines, horse racing, bike racing, boat racing, calligraphy, flower arrangement, and croquet. I think she'll make us fight in the middle of a lava pit someday. I have the high ground. It's okay, Rika-chan. Even if you die on that battlefield, you'll come back out of nowhere 2 or 3 chapters later. I have no idea what Keiichi-san and Rika are talking about. What are you guys doing? Are you piling up the tiles? No, not that. We're practicing the Tsubamigaishi. You're practicing the Tsubamigaishi? No. Oh dear. He's the one who showed me how to do the Tsubamigaishi earlier today. What did you say? It's not like I can use it in a real game, but it's one of the tricks I can do. Oishi-san, will you please show it to us? I really want to master that technique. I'm going to get in real trouble this winter. He still believes that. No. Sure, let me show it to you. You must be the boy from the Mybar mansion. Oh, sorry. Yes, I am. I'm Keiichi Mybar. I moved here recently. Nice to meet you. Hey, you've never met him before? This is Oishi-san from the police department. He's on the festival committees as head of the security team, so you'll see him at the meeting too. I've never heard about you. They say you're always full of energy. I've been looking forward to meeting you because everyone is saying that you're going to be a great auction host. You'll have such a big responsibility at the festival. I'm surprised you accepted the offer. You have a lot of courage. But I'll do my best since I took on the job, so I hope things go well. I'm Keiichi Maibara. It'll be a pleasure working with you. You're also a very polite young man. I'm impressed. I'm Oishi from the Okonomiya Police Department. You can call me Kuro-chan if you want. You can sit in my seat, Oishi. Oh, thank you. Let me show you the trick then. He rapidly gathered up the tiles. I could tell that he'd been doing it for a long time. I heard that judo fighters can tell their opponent's rank just by looking at how he ties his belt. It's just like that. Thank you for complimenting me already. Alright, are you ready? I'm going to do it now. There you go. Thud, swoosh, clack, clack. All done. I'm all done now. Wow, that was fast. We all broke out in cheers. You often hear the audience cheer for a big performance on TV, but it was really was more like seeing it in person. Yep, you did it so quickly too. You made it look so simple that anyone could do it, but everyone here knows that it's very difficult to do. That was why we were all impressed at how easily he performed the trick. Oh, you're amazing. You're so good. That was incredible. I'm seriously impressed. Will you teach me in slow motion? Sure, why not? Try and do what I do. It's more difficult in slow motion, but pay attention to how I use my fingers. Especially my pinkies. First of all, okay, I got that. Then what do I do? You do it like this. No, don't lift it up. Try and think of it as sliding it forward. But don't push it, just slightly lift it up, like a hovercraft. Slightly lift it up like a hovercraft. There. Damn it. You don't need any strength. You can't make any noise, you know? You have to do it silently, like a ninja. Silently like a ninja. Let me try one more time. It was strange. I've never seen Keiichi and Oishi play mahjong together. Oops. Keiichi and Oishi-san look like they could become good friends. I guess that's like male bonding or something. Oishi usually appears only after Takano and Tomitaka get murdered on the night of Watsunagashi. He has only ever appeared on the scene as a detective. He always approached Keiichi as a detective, so he never thought of him as someone he could trust. He only thought of Keiichi as a decoy to expose the culprits among the villagers, or some nonsense like that. So even when you see it, it's hard to believe that Keiichi and Oishi are having a good time together like friends. I've never seen Keiichi and Oishi getting along with each other. I know. It's my first time too. How am I supposed to react to this? I thought it was a bad thing when I first saw Oishi today. I couldn't understand this world at all. My heart was pounding. I had the strong feeling that I'd roll a 6 every time I threw the die. I should roll it again. I think I'll roll a 6 again. I'll know it before I roll it. I will roll that 6. I'll finally defeat my deadly fate. What's she gonna do? Welcome to our store. Oh, there you are. Oishi-san, I got it for you. My heart started racing. The voice sounded so familiar. I'd heard it before. But that couldn't be right. Hanyu always warned me. Don't expect too much. It couldn't be him. Oh, Akasaka-san. Thank you very much. Did you have any trouble finding the store? I'm sorry, I got lost. Who knows where I would be now if that nice postman didn't help me. A young man was standing there. He was wearing a casual outfit and holding a plastic bag in his hand. And that means we need to see. It's actually pretty good still. I always thought Akasaka wore a shirt and a tie. He also seemed much smaller. He looked at me as I stared at him. Normally, you look away when you make eye contact with a stranger. But we stared at each other without averting our gazes. Is that you, Akasaka? And you are Riki-chan? Huh? You know him? Akasaka-san, you knew Furude-san? That's a big surprise. It's been so long. You grew taller, didn't you? You seem stronger, too. This is Mamoru Akasaka, Chapter 4. He's a detective from the Tokyo Metropolitan Public Safety Department. He sometimes shows up in Hinamizawa 1978. He has no relation to Hinamizawa or my deadly curse, but outside the village, he's the person I trust the most. I've asked for his help in the past several times, but nothing ever came out of it. He's from so far away. He forgets about me once he returns to Tokyo. That's why I had given up on him. Why are you here in Hinamizawa again? I left my daughter with my parents, and I came here on a trip with my wife. Ah, so she's alive here. Your wife? Yes. You saved her life. You must have no idea. Akasaka-san loves his wife so much. Was it 5 years ago? He was in Okunomiya for a business trip, but he suddenly abandoned his job to return to her side. That's how much he loves her. Oh, that's so romantic. You warned me that something bad was going to happen if I didn't go back to Tokyo. That really concerned me, so I went right back to the hospital where Yukie was. Then I heard that a janitor got in an accident on the stairs that led to the rooftop that day. The tiles on the stairs were loose. The janitor fell down the stairs and got seriously injured. I knew that was going to happen because I had seen him lose his mind after hearing about his wife's death in a life I lived a long time ago. Falling down the stairs seems like just the luck of the draw. I didn't think it would happen all the time, but it had happened to him over and over. So I thought there must be some kind of reason behind it. I guessed it was because of the broken tiles on the stairs. If he didn't show up at the hospital that day, his wife would have gone up those stairs. It was her daily routine, but she didn't go because he showed up. Meanwhile, the janitor went up the stairs and got injured. Ah, that's how it is. Rika-chan saved Yuki's life. I'm not sure if that's really true, but Akasaka-san has no doubt that you saved his wife's life. He really wanted to meet you again. Rika is good at predicting things sometimes, though. That's because she's the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. Oops. Kuma-chan Sato-san should be here soon. We have to hurry, Akasaka-san. Well, my brother-san, let's do this again. I'll teach you something more useful next time. Sure. Thank you very much. See you again, Rika-chan. How long are you staying here, Akasaka? I'll be here until after Watsunagashi. Kind of long for a vacation, isn't it? They told me that I need to use up my vacation days. I just finished a big job, so my boss told me to take some time off. Just a second. The boy wants to come up again. Here you are. I'll be there at the festival. I heard that it's going to be a huge event. That's right. It'll be more than just the drinking party you had last time. Akasaka-san, let's go. You saved Yuki's life. I'm going to make it up to you one day. When that time comes, I'll lend you my strength. I will be killed in June of 1983. It's been 5 years, and I'm stronger and more experienced. I'm different now. I'm sure I can help you. I felt like I rolled a 6 without even throwing the die. Akasaka followed Oishi and ran outside into the bright sunlight. Honey, does this also seem like luck to you? Oh, whoa. It seems like fate is on your side this time. Remember that day we held a club activity in this toy store? The moment I refused to play the fishing game, this world started changing. My strong will is changing the path of fate. My strong will is going to change my fate. If I have a strong will, I can also change these results. When you scratch your cat's ears enough, he doesn't need to scratch them himself. We rode our bikes back home together. I was in a good mood. I almost felt like humming a song. I could feel my deadly fate slowly falling to pieces. I felt like my fate was urging me to move on. Just like the sun and the moon during an eclipse, the wheels of my fortune were perfectly matched for the first time in a long time. This really might have been a miracle. This wasn't like the true miracle of Keiichi remembering the past. It was good fortune within expectations, but when it was arranged this well, it was enough to be considered a miracle. I couldn't remember the last time I felt so good in June 1983. My name is Rika Furude. My ominous fate was moving away from me. With each step I took, that deadly fate withdrew further and further. I'd have to stay strong and take advantage of this miracle. I moved forward at high speed. Watanabe was so close. My luck and effort had brought about a miracle. And so, I will defeat my fate. This time for sure. Go for it. Yay! The next moment, something happened. Keiichi had accidentally scratched a motorcycle that was parked by the street. A group of 3 delinquents were trying to intimidate him. Oh, well, what shall we do? Just watch. I have the power to get rid of them now. I think we should call the police. Don't worry, Satoko. Leave it up to me. Rika? Hey, Rika! I walked towards the delinquents even as they grabbed Keiichi by his collar. What the hell are these pathetic guys? Are they trying to stand in my way while I'm trying to have a happy future? I should teach them that nothing can stop me now. I know I'm rolling a 6 without even throwing the die. Say something, you punk! Are you listening to me? They continued to grab Keiichi's shirt. Keiichi, Mion, and Rena were staring at them with a vicious look in their eyes. I got in between them. Huh? What the hell do you want? Ouch. Get the hell out of here. Don't even think about ruining my fate. I plucked his nose with my fingers again. He never expected that a little girl like me would attack him. He seemed surprised, but he quickly returned to being angry. Then he picks me up by my collar, too. Rika-chan, stop it, you jerks. Let her go. Oh, whoa, whoa. Rika, do you have a plan? No, I don't. But I'm trying to prove that this is nothing compared to the power I have now. If I can't deal with this situation, I'll never escape from my deadly fate. I rolled the die, knowing that what I was going to get. I knew that I'd be rolling a 6. The next moment, 2 men in working overalls came up to the 3 delinquents and tapped them on the shoulders. Let go of her. She's just a little kid, you know? Who the hell are you? These are the mountain dogs, probably. They started the fight. Shut up and go away. Those working men weren't just random people who were passing by. I knew who they were. Oh, she even knows. Let's have a talk over there. One of the men pushed the 3 delinquents to the side of the street. The other man spoke to me in a calm voice. Are you okay, Rika-san? Thank you very much. You saved us. He lended me his hand so I could stand up. Off with you now. We'll take care of the rest. I don't know who you are, but thank you so much. Are you sure we can go now? Yes. Don't worry about us. Thank you very much. I can hardly believe that Keiichi-san was so weak. Let's go, everyone. We got back on our bikes in a hurry and left the scene. They had no idea who saved us, but we're glad that all of us were safe. But I knew who they were. Those must have been the security guards who work for Takano. Takano kept her promise. Those guys are professional bodyguards. They only do what they are ordered to, but they make sure their mission is complete. If Takano told them to protect me, that's the best protection I can get. After we left the scene, a white van with 2 men in it followed us. Nightingale reporting. R is moving to the safe zone. We will continue escorting her. This is Heron. Roger that. Everything was working in my favor for the first time ever. The pedals seemed so light that day. I felt like I could fly into the sky if I wanted to. Oh, that's the scene ending. Maybe the chapter? Which means it may be a good stopping point. After I do the tips, of course. Yep. Right. Oh, before the flight. Here's your plane ticket. Don't be late. You'll get the rest of the money when you get there. Oh, Rena paying her off? Thanks a lot. Here, Mamiya. Thank you. I've always wanted to go to Sapporo. Are you sure Hojo isn't suspicious of you? Don't worry. He's stupid. He's got a big dick and a big attitude. That's all he's got going for him. Is that so? The next moment, they heard several cars coming toward them. The man looked out of the window and saw 3 black cars screeching to a halt by the apartment building. Oh. Several intimidating men emerged from those cars. Some of them even looked up toward the window. He quickly hid himself behind the curtain. Shit, they're here. Run! Are you serious? But why? Come on, Mamiya. They're going to kill you. They heard the men running up the stairs. They sounded angry. Well, guess that's what happened to her in this world. Not really a hint, but... okay, then. Alright, stop here. After I get flashbanged. Oh, jeez. Wait. What? Ow. All these sound effects. Alright, we're stopping there still. Wonder if I can write something. No, you can't. Oh well. Well, we're stopping there. Hope you had a good day. The next stream will be lots of sticks. I'm going to finish Master of Shadows and start Shards of Darkness after that. Probably switch the streams midstream or whatever you want to call it. You know, change the game by changing the stream altogether as well. I don't know. Maybe I'll be quick enough and it just combines them still. Who knows? That'll be Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. EST. Hope you all have a good rest of your day, or night, or morning. Bye-bye.